Hello guys, it's Kieran again here, and I'd like to welcome you to a Halo gameplay which I go 25 to 1 in, and unfortunately I get assassinated on something like a 17 kill streak, which is the reason it's not 25 to 0, and how cool would that have been to get a 25 on foot kill streak, and that's a nice little double kill splatter thing for the first strike. So yeah, you can tell this gameplay is a pretty good one, but at the same time I have to apologise for the length of the gameplay. The gameplay itself is about 11 minutes long, I think, and I've actually cut it down to about 7 minutes and a half, I think. I'm not sure, it's around there, but I'm sorry for the length of it. Still, 7.5 minutes is a long time. But to sort of, pad out this commentary and actually make it something like it was worthwhile, I'm not rambling on about something, I think it'd be good for me to talk about some tips that I've actually picked up about Halo that I think would be useful to you, and it's particularly for this map Complex. Now, I know I am a bit late to the old tip party. If it was a real life party, I'd be turning up late as everyone's actually in the taxis they've pulled and they're on the way back home, and they're turning up going, I've got some tips, and I know that I'm about a week or two late to this whole uploading schedule, but I think these might be a bit helpful to you if you do end up playing like Infinity Slayer a lot, and I just think it's probably worth listening to. So the first one has got to be, when you spawn, go for either the Ghost or the Sword. I've uploaded 2 gameplays now to this channel with me using the Ghost and the Sword. I'm using the Sword right now, and they just seem to work very, very well on this map. They're probably the most powerful weapons on here. I mean, there are also the sniper rifles on here, and I think there's also the what do you call them? The railgun spawn. Sorry about that, my mind went blank. And but I still think that because of the way the map is, it's quite close quarters. The best thing to get is either a Ghost to go around splattering people around the on the ground areas, and the Sword to basically just go in the buildings and just cut people in half. So it's probably one of the better strategies to do, is to stick to these 2 main powerful weapons, or actually devote your class to trying to go against these very powerful weapons. Because I usually have a plasma pistol on a class in which I use the Covenant Carbine, so if someone gets the Ghost, I can always hijack them and stop them from going around and tearing stuff up like that. And also, a plasma pistol against someone with a sword, you fire it, they lose their shields, one little headshot with a DMR bullet, that's them finished. So I think that's a good tip, and those 2 definitely very strong things on the map are something you want to go for. Now, mentioning these sort of strong power weapons or very strong items or vehicles or whatever, is you've got to not be ashamed for going for these things. I've talked to a few people in the past, they've been like, oh my god, you're so bad at Halo, all you do is use the power weapons. And it's like, if you're not playing Halo without the power weapons, you're sort of playing Halo MLG. And it's like, I don't ever claim to be an MLG Halo player, but at the same time, Halo is built around power weapons. This whole point of this new ordnance system, where you select what weapons you want with your ordnance to help you keep fighting, is probably one of the best systems that has ever been introduced to Halo, and I think it's a really good idea that 343 have put in. It helps you get the power weapons easier, and you also get to choose which ones you want. Now that brings me on to the next thing, because after you've not been ashamed of getting these power weapons, you also have to pick the right power weapon for the situation. You can see here that I'm using the Saw at the moment, and that is a hell of a close range weapon. I didn't actually get that good an ordnance drop, the options themselves. I think the options I got were shield up or something like that, and then those special glowy make a big area ball thing grenades. Fusion grenades I'm going to go with. I'm not even sure if they're called fusion grenades, but I think I'd go with this. But you have to remember that sometimes you're going to be offered things like a rocket launcher or a Splazer, what are very, very, very powerful weapons, but at the same time you'd probably be more handy with something like a shotgun, because of what the map it is. There's no vehicles, there's no need for a Splazer, and probably the rocket launcher causes too much splash damage inside like a small building or something that you can end up killing yourself. So it'd be better to actually pick the right power weapon to go with your scenario. Another one that I'm going to have to say, and it almost proves why this video is such a long video, it's don't go all gung-ho, or just don't run around like a madman. Don't basically expose yourself because you think that it's going to be a boring game otherwise. I mean, I know I've sped this up and it's not the most fantastic of gameplays, but Halo is not renowned for being an amazingly super fast-paced game. If you want something like that, you'd probably want something like an arena shooter like COD, and although Halo is obviously a first-person shooter with a lot of pacey elements to it, and especially on big team battle, it's just kills galore. On things like this, where it's 4 versus 4 on a map like this, there's no shame in taking your time about it. There's no shame in actually, planning out your moves and waiting for the enemy to come to you instead of you going directly to them. Because, like I said, you just lose your streak, or it'd just go badly for you. Now, this is where I come to the bit of a failure in the gameplay. I'm just going to pause from giving you a couple of tips for a minute by getting that running riot and basically just showing you where this all goes wrong. I'm getting my kills. I'm doing quite well in this room. I keep continuing to they keep continuing to funnel towards me. You can see where I'm on about wait for the enemies to come to you. It's a good strategy. But the problem is that I see someone on my radar, and I'm like, right, I'm going to judge where they're going to come through. I think they're going to be invisible and come through the door in front of me. I go invisible. I crouch here and then get assassinated. Oh my god, that was so annoying. Since like a 17 kill streak, and then you just get assassinated. Oh, it's one of the most painful of deaths. But obviously you soldier on, and I think I get another killing frenzy or close to it, because obviously I get like 10 more kills or something like that. I don't know what streak I was on. But this brings me to the final tip, which actually ties in with this gameplay itself, and it would be stick together. As you can see in here, behind me, as you can see on the minimap, my teammates are constantly near me, constantly around me, and we are working together to hold this building down. It's so much easier to get kills on this game if you and a teammate are basically, just firing all your DMRs in synchrony at one guy, because he is absolutely screwed. Unless he gets you with a lucky grenade or is able to run away and find some cover, he is absolutely outgunned, outclassed. And as you can see, the whole team is in this building now. Now, that is a bit of a bad move if someone does get us with a sticky grenade or gets us with, I don't know, a rocket launch or something like that. But towards the end of the game, where we're winning by such a volume, if we can just, sort of hold it as we are, holding down this room, making the enemies come towards us, because they need the kills. We don't need the kills. They need to catch up. This is where we win. And basically, as you finish it off, I just get the shotgun and go a little ham with it. And as I said, that ties in with ordnance applying to the situation you're in. Very close quarters buildings, so get the shotgun. Now, that brings me to the end of this tip video. I've not really got much more to say, and I hope it has been quite useful towards you. I know it is a video which basically does apply to Complex a hell of a lot more than some of the other maps, but I hope you still found this sort of tip video a bit useful, although it is like kind of late, so I won't be surprised if other YouTubers have already covered this. But I hope you have enjoyed what you've seen. I've been Kieran. This has been a 25-1, so until next time, goodbye.